Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining. I know it's 6 o'clock on a Wednesday. I know everyone has time constraints, so I thank you all for joining me tonight. Tonight we are going to go over renters to homeowners. I have the title page up for you. It's turning STL renters into STL homeowners. So the overall topic of what we're going to talk about is pretty much letting people know that. Me personally, when I was a renter, I really didn't know too much about homeownership. So it's pretty much to give everyone a step by step explanation of pretty much just go over that potential that everyone has, all renters have to become homeowners. So I know today, I was talking to my mom a while ago, and rent is extremely high right now. Like in a lot of cases, rent can be more than how much you'll pay for a mortgage. So we're going to go over a lot of topics. I'm going to leave the end open for questions and answers. I'm on my laptop, so I only got one screen in front of me right now. I don't have my dual screen set up right now. But if you do have questions, please put them inside the um, chat or comments, and then I will jump on, read the questions out loud. If your name is on there, I'll read the questions out loud, and then we'll answer the question as we go through. So just jumping on in. Again, hi everybody. My name is Richard Warner. That's my face. I am the broker of a small St. Louis brokerage. My brokerage is named My Three Birds Realty. I have close to 7 years experience in real estate. I need to update this. I have close to 7 years experience in real estate. I started off as a real estate agent, and now I decided that I wanted to do my own brokerage. So that's when me and my wife we decided to branch out on our own. I'm the broker of the company, and then she's the agent of the company. But we both kind of run things. And the name of our brokerage is My Three Birds Realty. And again, I'm Richard Warner. Funny story, My Three Birds Realty. It's a lot of people ask me where did we get the name from. It's funny. My aunt gave us the name a long time ago. She would always, whenever I had my wife and kids with me, she'll she'll just say Richard and your three birds. So that's how it became My Three Birds. So um, Robin, Raven, and my son. If you know us, you know his nickname is Duck. So Richard, Robin, Raven, and Ducky. So just a funny story. So let's go ahead and jump in. Starting point. So everyone has their own starting point when it comes to buying a property. I know a lot of renters. How I said I didn't really know about ownership until later on in life, until I was close to 30, when I started learning more about home ownership and how I wanted to get out of how I wanted to own my property instead of renting someone else's property. Because when you rent, you're kind of just paying that person's bills, to be honest. But renting is for some people, and a lot of people will rather own. So some of the things that we're going to go over today, it's going to be understanding the benefits of home ownership, mortgage loans, down payments, and credit. And then we're also going to go over building your plan and also building your team. So we just continue on. Let me look 1 second. Let me see if I have any questions or comments already. 1 second. Again, you guys, I'm on one screen, so you're going to see everything I do as I go through it. Okay. Okay. So, benefits of owning your own home. So, benefits of home ownership. One of the big benefits is tax benefits. So, with taxes, everyone knows we have to pay taxes. In Missouri, we pay personal property taxes on everything, but owning your home, you get a lot of tax breaks. So when tax time come around, you can get a tax break for having solar panels. You can get tax breaks for having your home just energy efficient. You can get tax breaks just for having your home energy efficient, having a energy efficient furnace or water heater that can all add benefits to your home. Potential appreciation. So it's potential appreciation because in most cases, when someone buy a property, you want that property to increase in value as you live there. You want that property to increase in value as you live there. And while you, one second. So you would want that property to increase in value as you're living inside the property. And in many cases, especially recently in the 2021 time frame during COVID, houses were selling for record prices. So people were uh, bought their house in 2005 and they sold it in 2020 for, so if they bought it for $100,000 and they sold it in 2020 for $300,000. So that's the goal for when you're buying a property. But that comes with a lot of research. You got to make sure you're getting into a community that's building and not depreciating, because on the opposite side of appreciation is depreciation, where you buy a property and then you keep your property up or the neighborhood goes down, that will actually depreciate your value of your property as well. So I'm kind of an open book. So I will tell you the good and the bad whenever in regards to everything when it comes to when it comes to looking for a property. Personalized and control. So one of the another good thing about when you own your property is it's honestly it's your canvas. So you can go in, you can change the paint, you can paint, you can change the appliances, you can kind of do whatever you want. You can add a room if you want to, if it's your property. For as when you're renting, you pretty much have to get permission to do everything. So you have to get permission to paint, get permission to um, you have to get permission to change flooring. And that's honestly, some people do that while they're renting a property because they figure, oh, I can be a long term renter. I'm not going to move anytime soon. But you just don't know the situation that the renter or the property manager um, are in, because they can sell the property while you're still living there. And then you will have a lender or a new property management or a new owner of the property. And honestly, if you're fixing up a property that you're just renting, you are kind of building up for that other person's investment. You know, like you're adding to that other person's investment. So last thing I actually have is investment. So owning your property is sort of a long-term investment. All of that appreciation, all of that hard work that you will put into your property, it all adds on to the investment because um, owning a house, it's honestly a lot of work because everything falls on you. But how much you take care of that house is how much you reap the rewards of that investment. So you can reap the rewards from that investment by paying off a mortgage and then just living comfortably in your home, or you can reap the rewards from that investment by taking care of the property and then selling it at an eventual time. But that's another that's another webinar. All right. So next topic is mortgage loans, down payments, and also credit. So when people are transitioning from renters to homeowners, a lot of people don't know what the actual mortgage loan is and how much they have to put down for down payments and what credit scores that they'll need to go into new property. So a mortgage is pretty much a loan that you get from a bank or a lender, and that's the amount of loan. Well, that's the amount of money that you are approved for to purchase a property. So some people get $1 million loans, others get loans for $150,000, $50,000, but that's the amount of money that you are approved for, and that you'll have to pay off to your bank to fully own the property. One second, battery's dying on me. So types of mortgage, we have the FHA mortgage, conventional mortgage, and a VA mortgage, which is Veterans Affairs. So FHA loan is a government backed loan. So when the government backs your loan, it's it's easier to get approved because it's being backed by the government. You can have a lower down payment, which is usually 3.5%. And then you can also be approved for it with a lower credit score. So the credit scores are kind of, it can, the government can back a 580 loan, but it's the lender or the bank that will have to get you approved at that 580. And I know some lenders that can approve a 580, but it's usually when the credit score is lower, but the person is working on the credit score. The person has um, the work history and the finances to kind of back them out, well, back them even though they have a lower credit score. There's also a conventional loan. A conventional loan, the down payment is usually 20% down. Conventional loan perks are you don't have the private mortgage insurance. A private mortgage insurance is one of the things that the government puts on a mortgage loan because they are backing it. So you actually still have to pay your normal homeowners insurance, but you also have to pay a private mortgage insurance just because the government wants to back themselves for giving you a loan. And then the last type of mortgage or type of loan that we have is a VA loan. There are others, but these are the three most common. So a VA loan is a veteran affairs loan or a veterans loan, and that's usually 0% down, but you have to be part of the U.S. military. And with those loans, it's 580 or higher, and it's similar to that government-backed loan, FHA. It's lender approved, so you will have to show that your finances are still in order, even though you have that lower credit score. I know with buying a home, the good, the comfortable score is around that 620 for the conventional or higher. If you're higher, you should be able to get approved for a loan, but lenders usually look at your income, your work history, your credit score, and also your debt to rate, well, your debt to income ratio. Your debt to income ratio, that's how much money you are making compared to how much you're paying out in debt. Um, so that's a brief around, well, that's a brief on how mortgages are set up or the loan is set up. But once you do apply and you get a loan amount, or we call it a pre-approval. So you talk to your lender, and your lender issues you a pre-approval so that you can know how much you qualify for. And then that's when your real estate agent or your broker, that's when they take you out and start looking at properties in their price range. So that pre-approval is a piece of paper or email nowadays that lets you know how much you are approved for and can actually upstart the or start the process of you finding your finding a new property. On a mortgage, there are four main things that's included inside of a mortgage. It's your principal, your interest, your taxes, and insurance. Your principal is the amount that you are actually paying. So when you have a mortgage, you're the owner of the property and you have a loan on the property. Your house is the collateral on that loan. So if you don't pay your bills, you default on that loan, your collateral is the house. That's how people end up in foreclosure. But that's the negative portion of if you were to not pay your mortgage. But so on the mortgage, you have your principal, which is how much you are actually paying toward the house. You have your interest, which is how much you are paying the lender or the bank toward the house. And usually, if it's a say if it's a 30-day, not 30-day, I'm sorry, a 30-year loan, it will be interest packed at the beginning. So, like most loans, at the beginning you're paying mostly interest, but during those last few years, that's when you start seeing that your payments are going more toward the principal and less toward the interest. St. Louis, Missouri, we are full of taxes. So, in your mortgage, the mortgage companies or the lenders, they take out the taxes during your on your mortgage payments. So you won't have to wait till the end of the year to actually pay your taxes on your home. You will pay them during the time frame, during your 12-month payments. And then insurance, just like cars, renters insurance. Your mortgage will also include your homeowner's insurance, and that's another easy way of not forgetting, or that's pretty much just another easy way of not forgetting to pay your insurance because it'll be tied into your mortgage. Um, on that, two things on that can change your mortgage amount, and that's your taxes, and then that's your insurance. Because your bank or the loan or the lender, they don't determine what the taxes are in your municipality or your city, and then they don't also determine how much insurance is, because we know insurance rates go up all the time, especially during it, in today's society where interest just went up last year. So those are two things that aren't affected by, well, that do change during your mortgage payments. Then I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. FHA loans, they consist of something called PMI insurance. It's also known as private mortgage insurance. That's the bank, well, not the bank, that's the government backing themselves on their loans. So they're putting a additional insurance that you have to pay for on the mortgage just in case you were to default. They're kind of covering themselves. So before we continue, let me jump and see if we have any other comments. So bear with me 1 second. All right, so we have a couple of questions. One of the questions is, you can make your home your vision when you own. I fully agree with that. Whenever you do own a property, it's your vision. It's your empty canvas. Been in real estate for so long. I've been into hundreds, probably even thousands of houses now, and you see the people that are artists. Let's just say that how they change the what the house looked like initially, and then they just completely made it their own. And then you have that opportunity also. Whenever you do own your home, you can make your own vision inside the home. What determines interest rates? So, what determines interest rates is your credit, but in real estate, there is something a little different. It's kind of based on the market. So there's a market rate that's out there. So each we don't know when. One of the big things going on now is the interest rates are currently high, and they are around 7 or 8%. That's how it's been the last close to almost the last year, and it's honestly deterring a lot of people from buying properties nowadays because the interest rates are high. And I would say toward that is, don't let it deter you, because you can still find that perfect property, and then there's also ways to get from paying that high interest rate. Like we all have, if anyone ever heard of refinancing, so you can wait for the mortgage rates to drop again, and then you can refinance your property at a later date. And that way, you already bought the property when the interest rates were high, so you're honestly just going to benefit yourself by refinancing. Plus, refinancing, you also get rid of that private mortgage insurance as well. Hopefully, that answered your question. Let's continue. Again, one of the things about me is, if you work with me, I am a open book. So if you have a question, I promise you I will get you the answer. Um, if I know something, I promise you I will tell you the answer, not sugarcoat it at all. Like in regards to anything with real estate, I will let you know what is it, the cold hard truth. So real estate, it can be a journey sometimes, and then sometimes it can be 2 month process. Sometimes it can be a year process, depending on what your starting point. I know I kind of started on starting points earlier. Some people start at um, they're not ready to purchase a property because they have to build their credit up. Others have to get their finances in order, and then you also get some people that don't know about home ownership and they just knew renting their entire life, so they're just content with it. So it's different starting points for different individuals. So once you figure out where you want to start, the process can take, like I said, it can take a short time or it can take a long time because as a broker, I'm here to help the entire way. No, it doesn't matter to me if it's a long time or if it's a short time. I'm here to help the entire process, and I will walk you through the entire process. So whatever questions you have, I'm here to answer them. So the next thing that we have is building your plan. I kind of just spoke about it a little bit also. So building your plan consists of starting your budget. Start budgeting. If your starting point is starting a budget, is start budgeting, figure out how you want to finance the house. One good thing is if you're renting, say if your rent is at $1,000 a month, and you are researching properties and you see that, oh, I can pay a mortgage up to 1,200. You have in your mind that you can pay a mortgage up to $1,200 a month. Set a budget to where you're paying your rent at $1,000 and you put in that additional $200 in your savings account, and then see if it's changing the way you're living. If you still have more money additional, see where that puts you at, and see if you can budget or see if you can afford that $1,200 mortgage over your and that can make it a little bit easier to see what you can actually afford when you are purchasing a property. So starter budget. The second thing that I have listed is your market research. So when you are buying the properties, you have lenders that know everything about the mortgage process. Then you will have your realtor or broker, hopefully me, that knows everything about buying the property, showing properties and everything. But I will also suggest that you dive into what the market is looking like, dive into what type of properties you want, just so that you can know, um, have an in depth overview of what you're looking for, know what you want, know what type of situations that you're going to go in, know what type of communities you want. Consider if you want, if you're okay with having an HOA, if you prefer condo. Just know what you want out of a new home, or know why you want to transfer from being a renter into a homeowner. The next one I have is location. So St. Louis or just Missouri in general, or we have a lot of counties, and then outside of our counties we have St. Louis City, and then we're so close to the Illinois side, and then we also have St. Charles or Fallon, and figure out where you want to live. Figure out the community. Figure out the school district. I know a big thing was with me and my wife when we were looking. We were kind of focused on the school districts because we have two small children. So the school district was top priority for us. And then outside of that, we wanted. I really didn't care about how much land we had, less yard to cut, but but we wanted the kids to be able to go outside, even though kids are stuck on their tablets and everything. But when they do go outside, it's surprising and it's amazing. Like, oh wow, look at them outside. But anyway, I digress. So the next thing is you want to make sure that you are on a reasonable time frame. So with that, how I said, everyone is on different starting points. Have a reasonable time frame. Don't put yourself in a situation where um, you're committed to buying a property in the next 4 months, but you want to make sure that your plan is adding up to it's comparable with your time frame. So don't make drastic plans for a short time frame that'll put you in a bind. So I would just say make reasonable, because I know building credit can take some time. I know building your finances, building a savings account, all of that can take some time. Me as a broker, I'm perfectly fine willing to wait. If you want to see some properties, I can show you properties that you may want to look at in different price ranges. But just build up a time frame that's comparable with your budget or with your when you have to move. I know a lot of times people are in a rush to transfer from renting to home ownership because their lease is up. Hey, my lease is up in a month. I gotta buy a house like right now. With that, it can happen, but it is crunch time, and the main thing that makes it difficult is finding that actual property because you want to make sure you find a property that's honestly perfect for you, especially if you plan on living in it for years to come. You want to make sure you find a property that's perfect for you instead of just for now property, unless that's your plan. But if you are planning on moving your family, kids, or just yourself into a property for years, you want to make sure that it's a property that can withstand or that can last for you or be good for you for a long time. Because recently, when the market was, how do I want to say, a seller's market, the sellers were offering anything and everything on houses, and then they didn't want people to do inspections on the properties. So they will want you to buy a house for sometimes the listing price would be $200,000, but people are putting bids up of $280,000 on that house that's listed for $200,000. And because they're doing that, and they're also telling people that they don't want you to do inspections or pretty much don't look into the details of the house, and people are actually still buying it. I don't want any of my clients to be in that situation. I want to make sure that we do our due diligence on the house, make sure we get all our inspections, and make sure that we are able to put you in the best position for your finances, your home, and just honestly just put you in the best position. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna look and see if we have any more comments. Again, I'm on one screen right now. All right, so let's continue on. All right, so the last one that we're going to go over is, I know this one may be hard to read. I'm sorry about the small font on it. I'll be able to, I'll change it for the next videos. So, building your team and question and answers. So, when you build your team, you want to make sure you find a team that you can communicate with. Uh, I tell everyone that all of my clients that I enjoy talking. I enjoy talking real estate, and honestly, I enjoy talking about whatever. My wife gets mad at me when I go into stores because I'm talking to people about hockey, and then the next person I'm talking to them about fishing, and I'm talking about shoes to the next person. So I can talk about anything and everything, but if you want to talk real estate, I love talking real estate. So you want to make sure that you have a lender and also a real estate agent or broker that you're okay with speaking with, one that knows your stuff, and one that answers your calls, texts, and emails. I tell everyone to give uh, first person that I always tell someone to go to when they are looking for a mortgage loan. I tell them to check out their banks first, see what type of deals that their bank has for them, and because their bank can, they already know your finance history, and then they already have your money at the bank at the time. So I would say talk to your bank first, and then I also have a group of lenders that I personally work with, and then even with them, I tell all my clients, give them a call first. See if this is someone that you would actually even want to work with before you start applying or doing applications for these banks and lenders. See if you want to work with them first, and then do the application. Remember, when buying a home, your team is crucial. So you want to build that you are the key piece of the team. Um, I It's funny. I got kicked out of Facebook groups before because I was telling I was telling I was people were having issues with buying a property, and they were talking about how their realtor, their lenders, how they were mistreating them, how they told them what to buy, how they told them pretty much told them everything. But remember that you are the head of the team. That honestly, your lender and your real estate professional, they work for you. So you want to make sure that they're doing the best to their capabilities to get you in a property that you want. Don't let your lender or your real estate agent pick the property for you. You find that property that you fall in love with, and then that's the property that you go with. Don't let anyone else decide the property for you. Um, at My Three Birds Realty, we prioritize respect for all clients, ensuring a personalized and considerate approach to meet your real estate needs. So just make sure that when you do decide to transfer or take that next step of becoming a homeowner, that you do your research. That's the reason for this. That's my main goal for this presentation, is just so that people have some research. So I know I didn't go over everything. I can still go over a lot more stuff about real estate. So honestly, give me a call, shoot me a text message. I'm more than happy to go over a lot of real estate situations for you. Yeah, I'm reading comments now. Okay. So when you do decide that you are ready to make the transition from being a renter to a homeowner, it's a great choice, honestly, because it's your empty canvas, it's your vision, it's something that you can leave to your children when you pass on. It's because you'll own it and you own that piece of land. And then that's something that me and my wife always talked about, how we want to leave things for our children when we're not here anymore. We want to make sure that they have something from us that they can give to their children, and just keeping it going down our lineage. Um, but I do thank you all for joining us tonight. I do two meetings or two interviews on the renters to homeowners. I'm open for any type of comments, questions. Feel free to shoot me over email, call me, or send me a text. My phone number is 314-480-2621. Again, my name is Richard Warner. I'm the broker of My Three Birds Realty. And have a good night, and God bless.